Well, I'm not going to start with my good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and you know my usual catchphrase. Also, shout out to the new subscriber. Welcome to the video game walkthroughs and meta commentary. Welcome. So, my goal, as I like to tell every new subscriber, is to get up to 2,000 subscribers or more. If I get up to that goal, I'll do something interesting. Now that we got that out of the way, here's what we're going to be talking about. Well, alright, well, we gotta talk about it, and I gotta read it, because this is Comedy Go in terms of a video game. And, yeah, don't mind me, I'm not actually playing the game. This is like pre-recorded Call of Duty Black Ops 3 that I was doing, like, I guess September 13th at the time, so, yeah, this is me actually playing before, but hey, that's all good. But anyway. Let's get some solid kills. So I gotta read this because I'm gonna talk about it after I talk about my main topic. So, I'm sure you've been hearing what's been going on with Concord. And, yes, I'm gonna be like every other YouTuber who's covered this too. I want to cover it too, and I'll give my thoughts on it because you couldn't make up this shit even if you wanted to. Anyway, Colin Mariani. He was saying that I spoke intensively with someone who worked on Concord, and it's so much worse than you think. It was eternally referred as the future of PlayStation, with Star Wars-like potential, and a death culture of toxic positivity, haunted any negative feedback, making it cost, allegedly, $400 million. $400 million. Oh yes, we're gonna talk about this shit. Trust me, we are going to talk about it. There's no way. But the main topic of this video, before we talk about Concord, just talk about, hey, is anybody else shocked about this? But we'll get to that. These are the PlayStation Plus Extra Premium games that are... Alright, well, Sony, are you actually full of it? Or are you actually... These are the 11 games that are leaving. PlayStation Plus Extra Premium. Where are these leaving? Just taking a look wise. Okay, it said October of this year, but it doesn't really... Oh, okay, my bad. October 22nd. So yeah, they're leaving October 22nd, and... I'm not gonna lie, there's a series that I'm disappointed that's leaving, but... Considering that PlayStation and Sony, every time, they tell us a certain amount of lists that are leaving, but then they lie and tell us at the very last minute that more games that we actually like are leaving. 13 Citadels, Aegis Rim, and Horizon Forbidden West, anybody? So I don't really, I'm gonna take this with a grain of salt because PlayStation's been doing this crap like all year this year. And I feel like they did it last year too, and also on PS Now. I feel like they did it on PS Now. So, let's get to it. And in a new format that I've been doing for PlayStation Plus Extra Premium games that are leaving, I try to keep it like 1 minute, like just to make it short, like an elevator pitch. I've been trying to do an elevator pitch of, hey, these games that are leaving, that really sucks. Or, hey, I don't give a flip about the games that are leaving. Or it's also the reverse too. If there's a PlayStation Plus Extra Premium game that's being added that I highly enjoy, I still try to keep it 1 minute because I know you guys like my meta commentary, but I'm trying to do something different, and I'm trying to not ramble on and try to keep it like very laser focused these days. I feel like that really adds, and it kind of gets straight to the point. If you guys like this format, definitely leave a like, comment, or subscribe. If you don't like this format, well, then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of go back to my old format of just talking about it for non-stop. But for now, I kind of want to stick with the 1 minute talking about the games that are leaving and games that are being added to PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. And also calling out Sony of why are you telling us last minute? Are these actually the games, like, are you going to be consistent and these are the games that are leaving on PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium? Or are these the games that are... there's more to come, and then you're just gonna tell us last minute, because whoever is in charge of the games that are leaving eats shit. Anyway, so let's roll to the next clip. Alright, well, we're starting this officially. And just kind of like what I said in the last clip, even though PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium, or really PlayStation Sony, are saying that these are the games that are leaving, this list is always tough to change. I should probably throw this disclaimer every time because there will always Sony and PlayStation tells us more games are leaving, and they don't tell us until the last minute, and then we're all freaking pissed.
Ultra Street Fighter 4!
Okay, I guess that sums it up. So this is the first game. Technically, there's a R-type Dimensions that's also leaving, but it was available to stream on PS3. But let's go. But apparently that's leaving too. So the one that we're really focusing on to start out is, well, this game. Hold on.
Ultra Street Fighter 4!
Alright. Well, without further ado, this is one of the, well, these are the PlayStation Plus Extra Premium games that are leaving on, well, October 22nd, like I mentioned in the last video. So,
Ultra Street Fighter 4!
let's start the timer. Okay, so Ultra Street Fighter 4. That's technically leaving. Which, whoever's a Capcom fan, or a Capcom fan, or a Street Fighter fan, they're gonna be sad, because if you didn't put the time in Ultra Street Fighter 4, sorry, it's gonna be leaving on October 22nd. I own the game, and if you've been watching my Street Fighter walkthrough, I own the game, so I have nothing to worry about. It sucks for, yeah, it really does suck for the Capcom and Street Fighter fans, so the fact that Ultra Street Fighter 4 is leaving, that means Street Fighter 5 is going to be leaving in the foreseeable future. It sucks, but I own both games, so I have nothing to worry about, so I'm not really sad that it's leaving. I think we all had enough time, and plus it's a fighting game. Alright, without further ado, let's move on to the next clip. I guess let's punch it, or Hadouken to the next clip. Okay, so Gotham Knights is also leaving. I don't feel sad about this leaving. I mean, this was... I heard that this was bad, but not, like, super bad. I mean, not as bad as Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. They certainly did. Oh, gosh. Well, anyway, Gotham Knights is also leaving. I'm not sad about it. I feel like as a Batman fan, I should feel sad about it, but I have my Batman niche. I have the Batman Telltale series and the Batman Arkham series. So I'm enough. It's enough for me. Would I buy the game? No. I don't think I would. If it came to PlayStation Plus Essential, yeah, I would take it. But now there's motivation to finish the game because I don't want to buy the game. So, this is no love loss. Okay, PlayStation, Sony. I mean, this is a game that I don't mind losing. Alright, let's swing, or I guess grapple hook, to the next clip. Alright, well, narration aside from what we heard from the guy who was talking earlier, Little Big Planet 3 is leaving. I mean, considering that who is a fan of Little Big Planet, fans are going to be pissed, but overall, I'm not gonna lose sleep over this one leaving too. I have Sackboy the Big Adventure, and that's enough for me. I feel like that's a solid enough game that having the Little Big Planets just leave, that's not like a loss to me at least. But hey, to each their own. So, Little Big Planet fans, sorry, it's leaving. I'm not that sad about it. I feel like I should be, but I'm not. Alright, well, let's move on to the next clip. Okay, so this is created by, or its developer is Koei Tecmo, and the W-Force who made the Dynasty games. Tokiden Kiwami, I hope I pronounced that. I know I probably butchered it. Is also leaving on October 22nd. I don't really know too much about this game. I don't know if I'll check it out. I'll probably just watch a trailer of it, but this is another game I won't be too sad about leaving, but maybe whoever's played this game in the past, yeah, maybe they'll be like, oh crap, now I have to actually finish this. But I don't know. I don't know. This is not on my need-to-do list, so I'm not going to, like, sweat it if it leaves, so, well, there's that. Gonna have to watch the trailer. I'm curious about it. That's all I'm saying. Alright, well, let's move on to the next clip. Damn it, Sony. Damn it, Sony PlayStation. Why are you taking this excellent game away? So, Dragon Quest XI Echoes of a Elusive Age Definite Edition's leaving. Damn it, Sony, why are you taking this one away? I didn't even get a chance to play this, and I know why, because I was starting with Dragon Quest Heroes before I started with this one. I should have started with this one first, then played Dragon Quest Heroes, but that's on me. Well, eventually this is a game I will actually... Yeah, this is a game I will buy in the future. Or heck, maybe it'll come to PlayStation Plus Essential. but I kind of want to buy it, even if it doesn't come to PlayStation Plus Essentials. So, Sony, what is with you and kicking us in the nuts about JRPGs? Stop taking the JRPGs away. But no. Alright, let's move on to the next clip. Damn it, Sony! Okay, so Sony is cleaning house. They're really just getting rid of every Dragon Quest game that came to PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. So, Dragon Quest Builders is also getting knocked down. No pun intended. But it wasn't on my cup of tea. I guess it's a combination of Dragon Quest and Minecraft. I didn't get a chance to play it, but it's nothing that it was on my radar. Me and my friend played this one, but I'm not sure on that one. I was more interested in Dragon Quest 11 and more interested in Dragon Quest Heroes because of the Dynasty Warriors, because that's what I grew up with, and combination of Dragon Quest and Dynasty Warriors. That clicked with me. This one, it's not really a loss, but I would have been curious to try it, but I just didn't get the opportunity. So, well, it sucks, but let's move on to the next one, or I guess let's build a block to the next one. And another one is, another Dragon Quest game is leaving. Seriously, when I mean that Sony PlayStation was clean house with a Dragon Quest, I mean it. They're just getting rid of all the good JRPGs. I mean, they got rid of Nier Replicant, and I guess, well, we considered 13, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Dragon Quest Builders 2, the sequel is leaving too. There's nothing more I can say about it. It's the sequel to Dragon Quest Builders. If you love first one, well, if you love the first one, then the sequel is leaving too. Like I said, Sony just does not like JRPGs. They're taking all of them. They're even getting rid of their first-party titles. I mean, Sony, what the shit? Alright, well, let's move on to the next one. This one actually, it sucks. Because I actually did play this one, and I didn't play it long, but it sucks that I didn't get time to actually play this one. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed the Dynasty Warriors collaboration with Dragon Quest. It's Akira Toriyama's Dragon Quest that we freaking love with Dynasty Warriors. If you can deal with Dynasty Warrior games, then this will be the type of game because it has that Dragon Quest flair. It's too bad. No, I would buy this one. I would actually buy this one and the sequel because this clicks with me. So it sucks that I really won't have time. I really won't have time to finish this one. I do want to actually dedicate time with this one, but I just won't have the time. Well, this one's leaving too, so Dragon Quest fans, once again, you're losing everything, so I would kind of get on this. Alright, let's move on to the next one. And no one can say that the Dragon Quest main theme that you've been hearing for decades gets old. No, it doesn't. It's fantastic. Triumphant Bombard, or... It's such a fantastic opening music, and no one can deny that. No one can take that away. Dragon Quest fans, oh yeah. And we're getting good in terms of Dragon Quest games. We're getting later in November and the next year. But for PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium, we're getting kicked in the nuts so much. I'm sad that the Dragon Quest games are leaving. Well, anyway, Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is also leaving too. It sucks. Because I actually did want to try this one. But there is hope. I will eventually get Dragon Quest 11 and Dragon Quest Heroes and 1 and 2 in the future. So, there's that. But kind of salty that we're losing them. Seriously, Sony, you really hate JRPGs. Well, moving on to the last game that's leaving. Huh. Ironically, we're losing a horror game just before October. How about that? Well, anyway, The Evil Within 1 is leaving. Well, guys, I own the game, so I have nothing to worry about. I have actually been 1 and 2, so even if it was leaving, I already put the time in Evil Within 1 and Evil Within 2 that, well, I own the game, so I absolutely don't have anything to worry about. I would actually highly recommend to check out the Evil Within series, especially if you're a fan of Resident Evil. This is kind of like a good... Like, until the next Resident Evil game comes out, check out the Evil Within series. They're kind of like that off-the-wall, in-your-face, kind of different type of horror. Now, if you could deal with the kind of, like, crazy as shit kind of thing that happens in Evil Within series, you'll enjoy it. Well, it's leaving October 22nd, so you'll be able to beat the first one. Anyway, that's it. Okay, I know it's weird that I'm kind of starting with Evil Within, but it's kind of part of the PlayStation Plus extra pre-games that are leaving. Now, how do I feel about it? If I have to give a score of how or what I think about it, because September, I hate it. I hated most of the games that were leaving it because there were actually some solid games and actually really, really solid games. Great first-party titles and indie titles that were leaving too, like Unpacking. That was an indie title. I wish I mean, I could have beaten it, and I really could have put the time in it. It's just the fact that I really wanted to take my time with Unpacking, and same for Nader Replicant and other games that I listed that, hey, I'm sad about those leaving. Really, I am actually sad about September. I will say September and some other month was really hard hitting. But I take this with a grain of salt. I was very optimistic about, or I wasn't like so salty about games leaving PlayStation Plus Extra Premium because the games that were leaving were not like really first party titles or indie games that I did not care to like. And besides, I beat the games that were leaving. At least PlayStation did let us know what was leaving. But now they've been kind of shitty about kind of letting us know what are the real games leaving. We wouldn't be as salty about games leaving, and we wouldn't be doubting the PlayStation and Sony, but they've been doing this for a good while, even the PS Now days. So games that I actually like, they're telling me at the last minute that there are more games leaving, and I just don't like that. So even though these are the 11 games that are leaving PlayStation Plus Extra Premium, I don't believe them. I don't believe them because they have pulled this crap before and tell us at the last minute the games are leaving. And then we all are like, well, we have to rush to beat these games now because you guys decided to just tell us last minute. Yeah, they really need to get on that bandwagon, or they really need to get their shit together and tell us what games are actually leaving. Because in terms of my plan of the PlayStation Plus Extra Premium, I want to focus on Dragon Quest games. I do. I really do want to focus on the Dragon Quest Heroes so I can move on to Dragon Quest 11 finally. But realistically, it's a JRPG, so I am not going to finish it. You know what I need to focus on? And this will be the game I will dedicate time to. I say that, but guys, I have a busy schedule, so I know I will. So you know what I'm going to do for the games that I guess we know, air quotes, that are leaving? I'm going to focus on Gotham Knights. Why am I going to focus on that kind of like cluster? That cluster on like just gonna leave it at that. That mess of a game. It's because I kind of just don't want to like put too much games, or I don't want to put too much in one basket. Or let me explain. There were so many games that were leaving in September that I got burned out, that I just wanted to kind of focus on Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. And that's completely understandable. So, just for anything, and I did say this like earlier this year, any PlayStation Plus Extra Premium games that are leaving that I actually like, I will kind of skip those, not intentionally, but I will skip them so I can focus on the games that I don't want to buy, like Gotham Knights. It just makes sense to finish Gotham Knights so I can focus on the games I actually want to play. So that's my plan, and I'm going to stick with that plan, because trying to do multiple games I do like, along with the games I don't like, it's a daunting task and it burns me out, and then I don't feel like streaming. It's nothing wrong with that. I like streaming. Streaming's freaking awesome. But when you try to do multiple games at the same time, you do get burned out. I've learned that the hard way, and I have missed out on good games I wanted to finish, but I didn't have time to finish because I was trying to do too much at the same time. So for the sake of actually, spread it out and actually, committing to finishing a game, I'm going to just stick with my big four and then just do one game of the PlayStation Plus Extra Freedom. But hey, if I finish Gotham Knights, oh, absolutely, I'm going back to Dragon Quest Heroes. I actually want to put time into it, if I can. But if I don't get to Dragon Quest 11, that's completely okay. I mean, I know I'm going to buy it, so it's completely okay. And that's pretty much it. Now, before we kind of discuss on what we're going to be doing for the rest of the day, Concord. There's something more I need to say about that, right? Concord is a thing. I thought we all kind of, well, who are we kidding? We didn't give a shit. No one gave a shit. even I, who actually played the beta, I was just like, this is a 4 or 5. I was like, this is not going to sell. Whoever, I was like, and they spent 8 years on it. So, okay, so in terms of Concord, even though people were speculating, including myself, we were speculating that we thought it was like up to 100 million or 200 million. That's what the consensus was. But, as I was reading up, it was up to 400 billion. Concord, who thought this was a good idea? I didn't even care about the character design. That's not what worried me. It's just the fact that the game was just not fun to play. Fun to play as the characters, just not fun to play. I will defend Concord to that degree, that I had fun with the abilities and just the abilities and the gameplay, but the characters themselves and the overall quality, absolutely not. There's a reason why the game failed. There's a reason why Sony PlayStation was like, yep, I think it's time to refund everybody because this is a dumpster fire. It was. It absolutely was. And they knew that. They knew that during the 8 years, but what caught me was the toxic positivity. So they couldn't say anything negative about the game. No one could be straight up and like, this game is shit. And you're thinking about releasing this? No, go to the drawing board or call it something else. Concord is a stupid name. And they're trying to be like Guardians of the Galaxy? Who? Are you high? That's really, I imagine that's how the board meeting went. There's just like, I think we can move on from Concord at this point. I mean, every time I hear what Concord's doing, the 400 million, or the massive refund, or the fact that they went offline in September 3rd, it was pretty recently. It was actually this month. That's the funny part. And now I'm finding out that they actually wasted 400 million, up to 400 million. I don't know if it was 400 million. Let's just say estimate-wise was up to 400 million. The fact that they actually spent all that money, where all that money could have gone to new IPs, actually good new IPs, or the fact that they could have gone to do remasters of older IPs that PlayStation that put PlayStation in the map. Infamous for one thing, Killzone for one thing, freaking Uncharted, or the bloody Bloodborne remake that we all been asking for, including myself. I would be livid. I would be so for it if they do a Bloodborne. Well, yeah, just a remaster. They have the. Well, clearly, if you're gonna just throw 400 million for Concord, I think you can spend the money to do Bloodborne remaster. It's just the fact that PlayStation's just not listening to fans. But guys, I already kind of went in a rant about my Astro's Playroom, because I thought that was fitting to do Astro's Playroom since Astro Bot was selling pretty well and doing critically well too. But no, I think it's the fact that Sony PlayStation just are not listening to the fans. I mean, come on, they wanted us to buy a $700 console. They're spending all their money on a game that is designed to fail. It is just dead on arrival. They're pushing live service games because of the previous CEO, Jim Ryan. Clearly, PlayStation just does not care what the fans are talking about. Xbox is no different. I don't know if Nintendo is the same way too. Whoever's a Nintendo fan, you guys can let me know. But it seems like they're still consistent. Well, except for them suing the Power World developers, even though they're doing their own thing. That's still a thing. I would go into more details about that, but even I don't know the whole story about it. I think it's stupid. Yeah. I think Nintendo can do it. I just think it's stupid when Nintendo, you also have money too. I mean, I could go into details if you guys really want me to kind of give my 2 cents about it, but overall, I think that's really stupid. Come on, Nintendo, you have all the money in the world. You have iconic franchises, and I know that Pokemon is your own specific idea, but come on, let's face it, Pokemon clearly was inspired by some other IPs back in the past too. Pokemon is not original. I'm sorry to burst your bubbles, whoever is a Pokemon fan, but come on, Pokemon is not original. Just like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Digimon, all those childhood memories, they're not original. I have not seen an idea that has been original, that has not been taken from previous stuff before. Even From Software, Demon Souls, it was even inspired by other games too. I know it was an inspired game. I looked it up. But that's besides the point. But it's just the fact that Power World was just trying to imitate Pokemon, but it did its own thing. Yes, there are some, I guess we could classify as air quote Pokemon that was exactly like a Pokemon, and that's completely fair. But Nintendo, you just kind of went after them when they made a buttload of money, and now you're just kind of like, now you're just trying to sue them? I don't know. So that's why I just said it's stupid. Come on. If Power World has to pay them, okay, but I think they made a lot of money that, hey, they'll be okay, but if they're not, come on, Nintendo. But, let's face it, I feel like Nintendo has some skeleton in their closets too. No, sadly, there's no video game company like Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. They're not perfect. Sadly, at the end of the day, they're our business. And that's pretty much the gist of it. Okay, so I kind of gave my 2 cents about Concord. I mean, there's nothing more else to say. At this point, every Concord news that we hear, it's like kicking a dead horse. I mean, there's nothing more we can do. I think we all have gotten to the point that we're just like, okay, Concord was the worst video game flop in this year, and I think we can all finally move on. I'm ready to move on, too. I just found it funny that it's just like the hits keep coming. I keep telling my friend, I'm like, it's coming to go. I mean, you cannot write this. This is like a business decision that was just a horrible business decision. And that's all we gotta say. And now we can move on. Because I'm ready to move on, too. I mean, could it come back? No, I think it's dead. But if it did come back, Concord, like some of the other YouTubers are saying, it will come back as a different name. And that's completely understandable. Will everybody care? No, it's the same game. It's just I think we can move on now. Alright, so in terms of the schedule, and I'm going to try to commit to this, I want to play Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, because I'm so close to the end, and I want to finish it to the end. Once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and play that game. Oh yes, that game. And after playing that game, I'm going to keep it in suspense, because I know people's already played it last year, but I get to try it. I mean, it's a video game trial, but hey, I get to try it, and that's all that matters. And if I'm not going to be feeling sleepy, then I'm going to work on, well, I say I'm late to the party, and sorry if this video is uploading, it's just been a very busy week. But yeah, then I'll focus on the PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium games, 2 videos per game I want to cover. And that's like, about 4 games, so I know I won't be able to get done with all of them, because I'll be focused on Spider-Man Miles Morales. But hey, I'll try to cover as much as I can. So, of course, you can leave that like, comment, or subscribe. Are you sad about the PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium games on October 22nd leaving? Or are you kind of like, it's okay? That's kind of how I feel, too. I'm just kind of like, well, I mean, there's 2 games I own, and the other games I'm not sad about, except for the Dragon Quest series. That's where I'm kind of like, Sony, stop taking away our JRPGs. We actually like them, but I guess not. So, that's pretty much it. So, I guess I'll see you at the next clip. Alright, that's it, pretty much.